Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk, helping to answer some really tough questions here for parents regarding the Lorain schools. For many parents, they were alerted to a lockdown that was in place for 3 separate schools within the Lorain School District. We were talking about the Washington Elementary School, Hawthorne Elementary School, and General Johnny Wilson Middle School. All 3 of those were placed on lockdown. There was a police investigation that happened near the 3 buildings. Now, essentially, all of them are in one spot, or at least close to one spot. I'll pull up a map in a second here. However, they were all placed on that lockdown. That lockdown has since been lifted. I'm not bringing you live right now to take a look outside of, I do not know which school that is actually. We're going to try to bring our Michelle Nix in. So as soon as we can get her, we'll be able to provide that for you. However, all we do know as of right now, again, we're going to repeat that information we have. We'll let Michelle Nix break down the little that she knows from being on the scene. But officers were on scene and confirmed a lockdown and had confirmed that that lockdown had been lifted. A parent on scene told us at around 4:55 that students are being dismissed, and that is exactly when that happened. Lorain City Schools said in a part of a statement that they're working to keep students and staff safe, which could mean keeping everyone sheltered in the buildings out of an abundance of caution, which ultimately now we do know is confirmed. This allows law enforcement to manage safety concerns in our community while we focus on the safety of those that we love. We have reached out to Lorain Police, the school district, trying to see if there's any additional information that we potentially could get in this. But again, I want to stress here, the 3 schools are pretty close in proximity, which leads to that investigation and leads to the call for a lockdown. You may remember a couple of weeks ago, we had lockdown at multiple schools from the Cleveland School District. Those lockdowns are put in place for a variety of reasons, and there are levels to those lockdowns. We will hopefully learn what level of a lockdown we have in this case. As of right now, we do not know. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and pull up the exact location of these schools, and we'll kind of go from there, again, until we hear from Michelle Nix potentially on this. Just trying to... So what I'm trying to do here is as soon as I can log in, I'll be able to show you the location of these 3 schools, and we can kind of go from there, because I think that's the best way to be able to show you exactly what we're talking about when we say all of these schools are close in proximity. Because again, we don't know exactly what that instance was that potentially led to this lockdown, but what we do know is that a police investigation ultimately led to the lockdown being called. And that lockdown being called put those students in a position where they were not able to leave until about 5 o'clock is when we officially got that that notification there. All right, so I see Michelle Nix now walking up. It seems that she might be speaking to somebody, so we're going to hop onto this interview then.
Look at him from old bed.
So, of course, this is a live interview, so whatever is said here during this, anything done here during this is a live interview. We like to tag along with our reporters to be able to show you exactly what is going on in this process as we break down a breaking news situation like this one. So that's exactly what we're going to do here with Michelle Nix, who will be interviewing, it seems, potentially parents or students from one of these 3 schools. All right, great. I was to just sign in here, so I'll be able to show that map, but we're going to pull up right now.
Sorry.
The interview Michelle Nix is currently doing. Again, for those that are just joining our digital stream here, Lorain schools lifted the lockdown from 3 separate schools. Unsure exactly what led ultimately to this lockdown. Let's join Michelle live.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to run and get people before everybody's gone. Go ahead.
I know. We can do interviews. We're going to take your interview live. So it's 216.
Okay.
436.
All right, so it seems that we're just getting a couple instructions there back from the newsroom here. So, yeah, so let's see.
He goes there too.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so we have the interview Michelle Nix is holding. We'll take this live.
She doesn't go. She just stuck in my butt.
Okay, hon. I'll hold it for you. Give me your first and last name.
April Wright.
Wright, R-I-G-H-T?
W-R-I-G-H-T.
Okay. And how many kids did you have over at Washington?
At General Johnny Wilson,
Yeah.
2.
Three of them go there.
3 of them go there. Okay. What happened?
That I don't know. All I know is I received a call saying that they was on lockdown for a shooting. That's all I know. And then when I got over here, everything was blocked off, and it about scared the mess out of me because it's like this is getting out of control. The fact I couldn't get into the school to get my children, you know, it really scared me.
Really scared you?
Yeah.
How long?
Thank God they were safe at the time, though, because they did have the school locked down, thanks to the Lorain Police Department, you know, doing their job. But other than that, as a mother, I was really, really scared.
How old are the kids?
I have a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, and an 12-year-old that goes there, 12, 13, and 14.
When all this stuff is happening, I mean, as a parent, I mean, how long did you wait for your kids to come out, and what did the kids say?
Usually the children are released at 3:25. I got here around, I want to say around 2:45, and they are just now getting released about, I want to say probably what?
4:45.
About 4:45.
Okay. But you feel that police handled the situation well?
Yes, I do.
You
I
were
do.
just really nervous as a parent.
I couldn't get to my kids, and I'm pretty sure all the other parents were in awe, you know, and probably having a panic attack. We can't get to our kids. What do you mean? Even if we were driving our cars up there to get our children, y'all should have released our kids to us. You know who the parents are. But I understand because of the area, you know, they had to lock everything down.
Yeah.
But it's just really scary anymore.
Is it frightening the thought that what's on the street is starting to impact what happens at your schools?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really frightening.
Do the kids ask a lot of questions about that?
My kids, when I picked them up from school, they seemed like they were normal children, acting okay. So that let me know that the staff at General Johnny Wilson, I throw a big shout out to them because they did their job for the kids. But again, it's very scary. Now I'm scared to even drop my kids off before they let them in the building or anything, because you never know what can happen.
Wow.
So I want my kids to be safe. I want all those other children over there to be safe, the staff. It's becoming too much.
It's becoming too much.
Entirely.
Wow. What grade is this little one?
My daughter Imani, she's in the third grade.
She's in the third grade. Can I ask her a question? Imani, were you worried when you heard school was locked down?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Mm-hmm.
Just nervous because you couldn't go home? Were you just nervous because you couldn't go home?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're okay. You're okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Would you like to? So, what's your name?
Jameer.
Okay, Jameer. Were you nervous when you heard school was locked down?
Nah,
Why not?
cause we was somewhere safe, and I'm not really scared. So I'm old, like not old, but like I'm old enough to. I'm not scared. I'm really like that. Sorry, but no, I wasn't scared.
But could you hear the gunshot?
Nah.
Did you hear the gunshot?
Nah.
No. Well, that's a good thing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Okay. You take care.
You too, darling.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I believe Michelle, you are dialed in. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So yeah,
Hey there, Jeff.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us for this. We appreciate it. I know you just spoke with that family there. If you want to just kind of give us a brief synopsis of what you said or what was spoken, and kind of just what you've been noticing since you've been on scene.
Well, exactly right. All of Washington Street was blocked off. There's 3 schools that were locked down since just after 3 o'clock. And as that parent said, it's frightening for them to think you're going to get your kids, and then they're telling you everyone is locked down, they can't come out of the building. And even though you want your kids to come out of the building, if shots are being fired somewhere else, police can't take that chance, obviously. So that was the reason for the lockdown. Several police officers did tell me that the incident happened down the street involving gunshots, but they did not believe anybody was seriously hurt. But again, police and school authorities can't take any chances. They wanted all those students and all those teachers safe. Most of the kids seemed like it did not impact them at all. They were just happy to see their parents and go home, and But someone said to me that Lorain is getting worse and worse when it comes to violence and things like this, and that it's sad that what happens on the street is now impacting what happens in the schools.
Yeah, really horrifying situation there, and particularly for the parents. What does it look like now? I see a truck or a police car behind you leaving, so I'm guessing it's pretty cleared. Is that it?
Yes, because when we came out here, there had to be at least 20 police vehicles blocking off this street, and then they were the other direction by the schools as well. And police officers were all walking around here. When you tried to talk to an officer, they were all in crisis mode, so they were all walking pretty fast and said, "We can't talk to you right now." But when I did get a few of them to talk, they said everything was all clear and that they were working to make sure that everyone was safe.
Michelle, we really appreciate your work on this. Is there anything that we didn't hit on that we needed to talk about here?
No, not that I can think of, but we are trying to find out exactly what happened with that incident to determine really if there was any danger to the schools in the area.
Michelle Nix, fantastic reporting. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so while we let Michelle get back to her job here, I want to pull up on a map just how close these schools all are to each other. Now, what I did in this is Google Maps, and I plugged in walking from each location. If you combine the distances of all three to each other, it is less than a mile. If you were to walk between every single one of these schools, it would take you 20 minutes, according to Google Maps. That shows you how close all three of these schools are and shows why Lorain would need to, at least in part, put all three on lockdown. So we have Hawthorne in the northern part of your screen. Then you have just below 23rd, so that's 23rd and Washington Elementary School. And then Washington and General Johnny, the middle school, share a lot. So I'm going to pull this up now on maps for you here, and we can show you this. So they share this entire space right there, right? So you have the facilities, the softball, baseball, football, track. This is the middle school. That is the elementary school, so they share the same block. So that is very much so needed to put that on lockdown. When you go now a little bit north to Hawthorne, it's still only a few streets away. So when you have a situation like this, very much so needed for officers to act, as Michelle had said, in crisis mode. Now, her saying that is really important because essentially that means that for us, the media, for any parent, you got to stay away. You got to let them do their jobs because we're unsure exactly what happened. Now, I want to pull up the camera. It's going to be a little shaky here. They're moving locations, trying to get different shots. Again, we are just joining the reporter in process while they're going through their process here, excuse me. But what I want to show you is this. It's the school. Officials seem to be gone. Law enforcement seems to be gone. So whatever the threat potentially was seems to have cleared up now in the meantime, which obviously is a good thing. But now the attention, as Michelle had said, turns to what happened and how parents can find out that information, because this is scary. If you're a parent, this is scary. I want to pull up the Lorain City Schools. They posted this official update an hour ago. We have not gotten something since then. Let's read through this together. Update 5 o'clock p.m. We've lifted the level 1 lockdown. Okay, this is really important here. Level 1. So they lifted that lockdown at 5 o'clock for General Johnny Middle School. 4:30 p.m. they lifted the level 1 lockdown for both elementary schools. Why is level 1 so important? So there are multiple levels for the lockdowns, and level 1 allows these students to stay in a class and then they continue their teaching. No in, no out from the school, but essentially they keep everybody in whatever class they were in. Teaching continues. They wait until the threat is cleared. There's an official announcement. That official announcement informs them that they are able to leave, and that's it. That doesn't allow anybody to leave, and again, that does not allow anybody to go in. Now, you heard the one parent, for those that have been with us for a couple of minutes now, that Michelle Nix was interviewing. That parent was concerned because she wanted to just get her kid. But if it's a level 1 lockdown, that's not necessarily able to be the situation's not actually able to happen. These lockdowns are in place for a reason. These situations are in place for a reason in case of crisis. Very clearly, that's what we had here. So let's continue on there. So 5 o'clock was when the General Johnny Wilson Middle School lockdown was lifted. Students and staff were able to be dismissed. 4:30 is when the level 1 lockdown was dismissed for both of the elementary schools, Hawthorne Elementary, Washington Elementary, so both of them. were released at 4:30. They continue to say that they thank you for your patience as the Lorain Police Department addressed an incident in our community. They understand the nature of lockdowns can be alarming, that they operated out of an abundance of caution, and the safety of the students and staff is the top priority. So the original post had said that the police department in Lorain was investigating a situation near all three schools. But again, as I had shown you through the map there, that could be a very wide area. That could be a massive area where that incident potentially took place, because you have two elementary schools and one middle school within less than a mile of each other. That area can be huge. Heard the parent, as Michelle was interviewing her, say that Lorain's getting worse and worse. That is something we're gonna have to dig into. A situation like this can be terrifying. We're very fortunate in this situation that as of right now, no reports of anybody hurt. As of right now, no reports of anybody from the school hurt. And of course, all three lockdowns lifted, students able to leave the school safely. Michelle Nix will have much more for us tonight on this story. Of course, 19 News, we're going to have our 6 o'clock newscast starting in about a half hour. But before then, our 5 o'clock keeps rolling around. And of course, we'll have our late shows in addition to that with any and all updates related to this situation in Lorain. Again, reminding those who just joined us here, if you just jumped on our digital stream before we're about to end this, 3 Lorain city schools were placed on lockdown. That is the General Johnny Wilson Middle School, Hawthorne Elementary School, Washington Elementary School. All those lockdowns have been lifted. A police situation ultimately led to those, and the police resolving that situation led to the lockdown being lifted. Much more to come on this and other stories tonight on 19 News. Our newscast continues until 6:30, so we hope to see you on air over on CBS. For now, I'm Jeff Slauson, 19 News. Have a great night. Much more to come, both on air and online.
19 News.